oral history, American studies broadly, oral history more specifically, often have a kind of public humanities or public history component to them. So especially when you do oral history, I mean, one of the ethical mandates is that you share the materials you develop with the people that you've spoken with. In the narrowest sense, you know, you give them a recording of their interview, so on and so forth. And ideally, you want them to have it in a form and a forum in which they can respond, possibly modify. That's something that the documentary projects always kind of wanted to do, and I've never been that satisfied that we've done it. I mean, the first part, just sending people their recordings and reports that, you know, came out of those recordings, we've always done, and that's been fine. But we've never really done a very effective, you know, kind of collective public presentation. And the timeline made a lot of sense with the project we were working on. Again, you know, a neighborhood history. It's not hard to imagine that on a timeline, and made it shareable with the people we talk to and beyond. And because it's digital and pretty flexible, it makes it very easy to edit, to modify, to incorporate responses as we receive them. Since we were working collaboratively, the timeline made sense because different people could work on sort of different units, different elements of the timeline. But as the students developed their interests, it became clear that there were clusters of students who were interested in kind of different periods of time. And then, yeah, well, working backwards, the public presentation was great, and people loved it. That was galvanizing. Some of the very things about a timeline that in some ways from a scholarly or academic perspective you're maybe a little skeptical of, clearly work for more general audience. People found that very intuitive, very straightforward. They could really follow it. People were clearly interested in going and spending time on their own. One of the things that, and we've talked a little bit about this, a limit of the timeline, at least in my current ability to use it, is, I guess, a kind of layering. I mean, I have this sort of vision almost of, you know, linked timelines or something like that, where, you know, you get to a spot on the timeline where you do want to drill down further than the text, and you know, the student's done more research, so, you know, where can you take them? But that's probably pretty resolvable, those kinds of things.